Bring the beauty of the holidays to your home. Come to Merrifield Garden Center. We know plants and holiday decorations.
Good morning, America. An ABC News exclusive. Ivanka Trump breaking her silence on that private email scandal after her father said Hillary Clinton should be locked up for using private email.
Well, there really is no equivalency.
So the idea of lock her up doesn't apply to you?
No.
And what the first daughter is saying about those young migrant children battling tear gas at the border, only on GMA this morning.
Lashing out. President Trump threatens General Motors overnight after the auto giant cut thousands of American jobs and closed plants across the country as outrage grows over those massive layoffs.
Breaking overnight, embattled Republican Cindy Hyde-Smith becoming the first woman in Mississippi elected to the Senate after those racially charged remarks.
Also new this morning, the stunning new report just released on that plane crash that killed all 189 people on board. What it means for all pilots flying those brand new 737s.
Model mayhem. The white teenage Instagram star under fire. Why did she go from this to this?
And Sister Jean's surprise. The 99-year-old nun who stole the nation's heart, inspiring the underdogs Loyola Chicago to a Final Four run, the big gift from her favorite team.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. Don't you love to see Sister Jean smile?
Sister Jean, get some bling. They put a ring on it. Great to see her smile.
Oh, it is. Sure is.
We'll talk about that later. But first, we begin with that ABC News exclusive with the president's advisor and first daughter, Ivanka Trump, now addressing her use of private email and how it compares to what Hillary Clinton did. Deborah Roberts sat down with her and joins us now. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning, Robin. Well, for the first time, Ivanka Trump is actually explaining her personal email use while in the White House. I asked her about it during a visit to an Idaho school to promote technology, where she broke her silence. It has come to light that early in the administration, you used your private email for White House business. Your father had taken Hillary Clinton to task for this. So how did you wind up in a similar situation?
Well, there really is no equivalency. All of my emails that relate to any form of government work, which was mainly scheduling and logistics and managing the fact that I have a home life and a work life, are all part of the public record. They're all stored on the White House system. So everything has been preserved, everything's been archived. There just is no equivalency between the two things.
But people see it as the same.
People who want to see it as the same see it as the same. But the fact is that we all have private emails and personal emails to coordinate with our family. We all receive content to those emails, and there's no prohibition from using private email as long as it's archived and as long as there's nothing in it that's classified.
But your father hammered Hillary Clinton on this, said that it was criminal, she should be locked up.
Hillary Clinton is guilty. She knows it. The FBI knows it. The people know it.
In my case, all of my emails are on the White House server. There's no intent to circumvent. And there were mass deletions after a subpoena was issued. My emails have not been deleted, nor was there anything of substance, nothing confidential that was within them. So there's no connection between the two things.
So the idea of lock her up doesn't apply to you?
No.
Ivanka Trump says her big focus is jobs and the American worker, in spite of controversies that might be swirling around the White House. And of course, there are many. We talk with her about other issues, and we will all have it all coming up just ahead.
Just a little bit. All right, Deb, thank you.
Ivanka is speaking out. The president is lashing out in a new interview with the Washington Post. He's threatening retaliation against General Motors for closing plants, laying the blame for the recent stock market losses on the man he picked to run the Federal Reserve. Senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega here with that story. Cecilia, the president's scattering fire in every direction these days.
Oh, George, he certainly is scattering fire at his own Fed chair, but this threat to go after GM subsidies in retaliation for these layoffs could potentially hit American consumers, too. President Trump overnight playing the blame game over GM's plant closures and layoffs, calling out the Federal Reserve. The president telling the Washington Post, "I'm doing deals and I'm not being accommodated by the Fed. They're making a mistake because I have a gut And my gut tells me more sometimes than anybody else's brain can ever tell me. And he's also criticizing the very leader he chose to run the Fed, Jerome Powell, saying, quote, I'm not even a little bit happy with my selection of Jay, not even a little bit. And I'm not blaming anybody, but I'm just telling you, I think that the Fed is way off base with what they're doing. And after speaking with the GM CEO,
I'm not happy about it. Their car is not selling well.
the president is now delivering a blunt message via tweet, saying the U.S. saved General Motors, and this is the thanks we get. We are now looking at cutting all GM subsidies, including for electric cars. But it is not that easy. The president needs Congress to pass new legislation to end those tax credits. Yeah, and after that threat on Twitter from the president, GM shares plummeted, wiping out a chunk of Monday's gains. The president says he wants to help GM, but this one right there did not help at all.
Did not. Okay, Cecilia, thanks very much.
And the General Motors workers who are at the center of all the plant closures are devastated, and they're desperate for answers. The news coming just weeks before the holidays, and many of them are speaking out about the decision overnight. Eva Pilgrim is here with that. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Michael. We talked to so many of those workers, just in shock, not sure what they're going to do now. Most of them finding out they may be out of a job either by watching the news or from a friend.
Overnight, outrage growing among General Motors employees after the largest automaker in the U.S. announced massive layoffs.
They always take it out on the backs of the workers and the consumers, not their stockholders.
Nanette Donathan, who works at GM's Lordstown plant, speaking with ABC News, putting some of the blame for the 14,000-plus layoff squarely at President Trump's feet.
I've been listening to Trump spouting off this and that about General Motors and how he's mad about it, but he could have done this in a much more reasonable way and not caused all this damage.
Trump met with GM CEO Mary Barra and other auto leaders in January of 2017, promising jobs would be coming back to the U.S.
It's the long-term jobs that we're looking for. We're bringing manufacturing back to the United States, big league.
Some of those workers who supported the president feel let down.
Those promises were made and those promises were broken.
Now, the automaker saying it will cut 15% of its workforce by 2020. Tara Gress is a mother of two and has been with the company for almost 2 decades.
They don't care about us, and it's not what it used to be. We used to be something, and you could take more pride in your job, and now they could care less.
Heart-wrenching scenes playing out across the 5 factories in the U.S. and Canada by those affected by the layoffs just before the holidays.
I don't know what to do next.
And GM is blaming it all on slowing car sales, saying people just aren't buying cars anymore. So they're shifting gears to focus more on SUVs and automation. Executives hope these layoffs and closures will save at least $6 billion. But all of these people thinking about the fact that it's the holidays and they just don't know what they're going to do.
And there was no warning.
No warning.
All right, thank you, Eva.
Okay, we're going to move on now to a breaking new development in the Russia investigation. The New York Times reporting overnight that lawyers for convicted Trump campaign chair Paul Manafort were briefing President Trump's legal team on what Manafort was telling the special counsel, Robert Mueller. This information sharing came before Manafort's plea deal with Mueller collapsed. I want to break down what it means with our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. And this idea that he was telling Trump what he was telling Mueller is not illegal, but it is pretty unusual. He's basically playing both sides.
Right. So joint defense agreements are pretty normal, particularly in kind of mob cases and gang-related cases where the defense teams share information. What makes this different is effectively Manafort was saying with his plea, I'm on your side now. I'm with you, prosecutors, and I'm going to assist you in whatever way you need. In effect, he wasn't doing that. It's starting to feel like he was on a fact-finding mission for the Trump team to figure out exactly what do they want, what kinds of questions are they asking, et cetera.
And how could Trump's team use that?
Well, they could use it publicly. It seems that some of President Trump's tweets were a direct response to information that he got from Manafort's team. It can allow him to prepare for a defense. It can allow him to prepare his report that he's going to use as a response, et cetera. But I think most importantly, it becomes a kind of a cudgel for them to use against Robert Mueller by saying, you know, that he's trying to get witnesses to say certain things, et cetera.
It also reinforces what you were saying yesterday, that Manafort might be playing for a pardon from President Trump.
I don't think there's any question that he's playing for a pardon here. I mean, I think that by saying, I'm with you, prosecutors, and then not just not cooperating, but according to prosecutors, lying repeatedly.
And they're saying they can prove that.
Right. They're saying they can prove it. You have to believe that he thinks he's got another option here.
But if at any point the president or his lawyers told Manafort, don't worry, you can get a pardon?
Well, look, the question becomes, is the power of the pardon absolute? That sure sounds like witness tampering in any other context, where you're basically saying to a witness, don't help, or lie, or tell me what they're saying. That sure feels like witness tampering. Some people argue, though, that the power of the pardon is absolute. That's the sort of question that would be resolved down the road.
Dan Abrams, thanks very much.
And George, now to the results this morning in that Senate battle in Mississippi. Voters sending Republican Cindy Hyde-Smith back to Congress. And our senior congressional correspondent, Mary Bruce, is here in the studio with more on that. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, overnight, Cindy Hyde-Smith insisted she will represent all of Mississippi after winning this race, which was rocked by racial controversy. She came under intense fire for her comments on public hangings. But last night, she made clear she is eager to move on. She's now the first woman elected to Congress in the state's history. And she told supporters she's a cowgirl who can roll with the punches, while her opponent, David Espy, who conceded at the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum, urged his supporters to continue to raise their voices against injustice. This was the final Senate race to be called, and now gives Senate Republicans a net gain of 2 seats, expanding their majority to 53 seats to Democrats' 47, while over in the House, the Democrats have now flipped a whopping 39 seats, Robin, giving them a very comfortable majority.
Comfortable majority for the Democrats overall in the House, but is it a comfortable majority for Nancy Pelosi? She faces a key vote in the House today.
Yeah, she does. She is expected to clear that vote today, but we're going to be watching closely to see if she has enough votes for that final vote that matters so much in January, George.
Okay, Mary Bruce.
It's nice to have you in the studio.
It's nice to be here, gang.
Good to see you, Mary. And now we're going to turn to that breaking news overnight, that chilling report about the Lion Air crash that killed 189 people, saying from the moment the flight took off, pilots fought a tug-of-war with an automated system that repeatedly pushed the jet's nose down. Alarming news for a brand new plane, where there are more than 200 in service around the world, over 40 of those with U.S. carriers. ABC senior transportation correspondent David Curley is at Reagan Airport with more. Good morning to you, David.
Morning, Michael. This data showing the pilots struggling with this new safety system that wants to nose down a plane if there is trouble. The pilots pulling back on their controls, battling the computer. It is the data from this black box that this morning is telling the story of that battle in the sky between an Indonesian crew and a jetliner's safety system. Right after takeoff of the Boeing 737 MAX 8, warning alarms of something wrong. But it was apparently a bad sensor and data telling the flight computer there was a possibility of a dangerous stall. So the computer put the jet nose down. The pilots correcting, pulling the nose up. This happens more than 24 times. A tug-of-war, nose down, then pulled up until the jet falls out of the sky. There had been problems on this same jet on the previous 3 flights, but this crew could not recover.
They may not have followed procedure. They did not follow procedure. The procedure would have been to disconnect the system. But also the procedure should be, if you see something that wrong with your airplane early on in the flight, land it. Don't wait.
Indonesian authorities releasing their report overnight, recommending that Lion Air, quote, improve the safety culture. And for the first time since the accident, Boeing raising questions about maintenance of the jet and pointing out that the day before, a crew experienced similar problems and turned off the system. Boeing added that new safety system to this new version of the 737, but says the procedures to deal with these problems remain unchanged. Now, the Indonesians are still looking for the cockpit voice recorder, but time is running out because the battery on the pinger on that black box is only guaranteed to continue to work for a couple of more days, Michael.
All right, David, there are more than 200 737 MAX 8s in service around the world, but dozens of them for U.S. airlines. What is Boeing doing to fix the problem, and should passengers be worried?
Well, our experts say passengers should not be worried that the plane is safe. What Boeing has done is told all airlines that they should make sure that their pilots know the proper procedures, that if you have a problem with the automatic system, shut it off. Michael?
All right, thank you so much, David. George?
Okay, Michael, now to those disturbing hazing allegations at a high school in Maryland. 4 football players charged with sexual assault. Now they could be facing life in prison. ABC Stephanie Ramos is tracking the case.
4 sophomore football players accused of participating in a hazing incident so astonishingly cruel, according to prosecutors, it could possibly land them in jail for the rest of their lives. It happened inside the freshman locker room at this Maryland high school. According to arrest warrants obtained by ABC News, the 4 15-year-olds are being charged as adults for an alleged sexual assault against 4 of their freshman teammates. The details too graphic to describe. At Damascus High School, football is a big part of the culture. The varsity team winning the state championship 3 years in a row. Authorities now looking into the possibility this is not the first incident involving the team. One victim says the suspects told him the alleged attack was part of a so-called tradition, according to investigators.
Will we be looking at and examining the potential that this happened in prior years? The answer is absolutely yes.
The attorney for one of the defendants says his client is innocent, but he's not surprised to hear of the accusations.
I think the short answer is that there is information out there that this has happened in other years, yes.
That attorney wants his client to be charged as a juvenile, not as an adult. And he also wants part of the blame to be placed on the staff for not supervising those teens. Now, there is a 5th student accused of participating in this so-called tradition. He is being charged as a juvenile. Now, all of the students have been released to their parents on bond, and the school district says they're going to handle their own investigation and review the athletics program. George?
Boy, it's so shocking to think that this kind of cruelty and violence could be a tradition at that school.
I mean, I've spent a lot of time in locker room. That was never a tradition anywhere I was at.
And thanks to Stephanie for that report. We're going to turn now to some good news. A celebration for the nun who stole the nation's heart during the men's Final Four. You remember Sister Jean.
Sister Jean.
Yes, the Loyola Chicago team chaplain who helped inspire the Ramblers during that March Madness Cinderella run. Well, the team returned the favor last night, surprising the now 99-year-old with a Final Four ring. Look at her sporting it. She called herself an international celebrity last year, and judging by the reaction last night, still is. Still got it.
She's got a strong arm, too.
Because that's a big ring.
And then she has her own signature shoe coming out. That's next. That's next. And we're going to go now. We're going to go to Rob with heavy lake effect snow in the Northeast.
That's
snow, Rob.
I know, man. Like a lot of people want to fast forward to March Madness, but we're getting into lake effect snow season now. Chautauqua County there in New York, where they had anywhere from 8 to 16 inches of snow. Not only that, but away from the lake effect snow zones across the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, there was a bad accident there along I-91. This tour bus flipping over. There's some minor injuries and shutting down the interstate for a short time. Good news for the ski resorts. Mount Snow picking up 20 inches of snow. This stubborn low kind of continuing to swing cold, blustery air across not only the upstate areas, but down across parts of the I-95 corridor. Another 6 or so inches expected here across the snow zone, but it will be chilly. Temperatures today a good 10 to 15 degrees below average. Time now for your rainy cities, brought to you by Walmart.
Why you in so much hurry? Is it really worth the worry? Look around, then slow down. What's it like inside the bubble? Does your head ever give you trouble? It's no sin. Trade it in. Hang on. Help is on its way. I'll be there as fast as I can. Hang on.
Feeling like a January day today, and impacts from some high winds. Those could be felt. Some trees, some branches down if you're out driving. May even be some isolated power outages, but low temperatures, wind chills in the 30s and 20s most of the day today. Breezy tomorrow, the high 44, the weekend better, 50 degrees on Saturday with a few passing showers. And look at this, close to 65, close to 70 degrees on Sunday.
Time to spend some positive vibes on the winter season. Here's some video out of Telluride, Colorado. The San Juan Mountains there getting some fresh snow the last few days. Watch this powder. Huh? Come on. Freshies there. You gotta love that. Not just the West, but we mentioned Vermont getting a ton of snow. Wow. These pictures out of Stratton, so that's a picture postcard for you, right? Come on, embrace the snow, guys.
Okay.
Right? Puts a smile on your face.
All right.
At least through Christmas.
We're working on it. Thanks, Rob.
All right.
Coming up, we have the Instagram influencer and model under fire, accused of pretending to be black. what she's saying on GMA this morning.
And more of our ABC News exclusive, Ivanka Trump one-on-one with Deborah Roberts, facing some tough questions on her father's border policies and the Russia investigation.
And we have a GMA consumer alert, a warning about those cell phones. Before you turn them in or sell them, does your information truly get wiped off? I have a drawer full of phones because I refuse to give them up. That's right.
He's cheap.